Hey guys, it's Johnny Ken Hammer for day 29 of the 10 Approach Challenge. It's hammer time. I had a viewer comment on my most recent video yesterday about my long term plans being in Brisbane and the fact that I'm moving city to city all the time. And it does seem like it's going to be very difficult for me to find a girlfriend, especially as I get up there in age. I'm already 42. And if I do want to have kids at some point, I'm going to need to eventually find a girl to settle down with. So in this video, I'm just going to go over some of the reasons why I think I'm still single now. And then I'm going to talk through what my long term plans are because I still don't even have a clear vision of what that would be as of right now. So basically, to start the whole story, I got divorced in 2017, 2018. I moved to Boston. So that was my first time out of small town Wisconsin being single outside of like before I met my wife. So I knew that I could not stay in that small town if I was ever going to get the dating life I wanted. Once she left me and she had her new boyfriend, this made me very jealous, very upset. I felt very alone and I knew she had moved on. So good for her, but I was not going to find the person that I wanted to be with in that small town because I would have to go through scarcity. I would have ended up going to the bars and just meeting random people. So I knew that wasn't an option. So I moved to Boston pretty much immediately. I was there the New Year's Day of 2018. And that was where I was excited to go to. I didn't know what was going to happen at this point. I was just glad to be out on a new adventure. I'm single. I'm starting to learn about social skills and being able to improve myself as a man. I'm pushing my boundaries by moving to a place I've never been to. And I started to really grow and find myself just that little bit. And I was relying on drinking to go out, but I was also improving in other ways. I was building new friendships, but I wasn't really connecting with people like I thought. I was still kind of overweight, still was pretty lazy, still was relying on alcohol to improve my social skills. So I was making new friends and I was having this stuff, but I was never really connecting with anybody. And I was only in Boston for about 6 months before I met my friend Angus. If he's out there, hope you're doing well, buddy. But we decided we would move to Las Vegas. And for me, this was awesome because I had been married for 12 years. I'm now single. Been single for now, I guess, 8 months. And then I'm going to Las Vegas. I'm going to go have some fun. I'm going to be able to go to the nightclubs. I had already saved up some money from selling my house. So I didn't have to really work or really worry so much about work. So my whole goal was to practice social skills, meeting women, going out and making new friends, pretty much partying. I would get work as a promoter so I could get free tables at the nightclubs. And it was fun for a while. And I did meet some great girls. I was seeing a girl there in Canada for a couple years. It was a long-term, long-distance relationship. So it was not ideal, but I really liked her. We had a good vibe, good connection. But I didn't really see it as anything that was ever going to be long-term, probably because I was getting out of a divorce. She was long distance. It didn't really make sense to me that we would be together. I probably wasn't really looking for that at that time. So in Vegas, I was more focused on partying. And then once I got into this relationship with her, I kind of stopped going out as much. I didn't really go to the nightclubs. I started working at the dispensary. So I started smoking some weed again. So it was easier for me to just come home and chill. I would work out. I would go do social events with my friends. But I wasn't really pushing myself to go on many dates anymore because I had this girl. I thought I was doing good enough. And I was kind of just drifting with weed. So I was like, okay, no big deal. And then I got a job offer to go to Philadelphia in 2019, maybe 2019. And I didn't like Philadelphia at all. I was there for this job, getting some training. And then once I got hired on to a new company, then I would leave Philadelphia. So I wasn't really looking for a girlfriend then. So ended up going to get hired on for a company that was in Michigan. But the pretty much the couple days I went back to, long story short, I went to Wisconsin to get my stuff and then COVID happens. So COVID happens. I'm in small town Wisconsin again in my parents' basement for a year and a half. So I'm not improving my dating life at all. I knew Wisconsin was never going to be a place that I wanted to settle long term. So wasn't looking for a girlfriend there. Everything was on lockdown. There was really nowhere to meet. I was not practicing my social skills at all. So I was smoking weed again. I was reverting back to the social shy guy who I wouldn't talk to people at the grocery store. I wouldn't talk to people out and about. I was pretty friendly with people, but I wasn't flirting with people. I was not trying to build any relationships. So COVID happened. Then after COVID, I went down to Austin, Texas, and started to build some relationships down there, started to improve a little bit. And I was making some good friends at Emo Bingo, my all-time favorite event. I love that place, but I still wasn't comfortable being myself as much socially. And I liked Austin, but I never felt like I was going to live there forever. So when I traveled down to Mexico to meet some friends, I fell in love with that place. I decided I was going to move there after because COVID was still kind of going on. So I wanted to move down there, improve my dating life, meet some new friends. And that's really where my dating life skyrocketed. Became very efficient at online dating, getting a lot of dating practice, figuring out the kind of girls that I wanted, and everything was going well. I didn't ever think it was gonna be a place where I would find a long-term relationship, probably because of the state of mind I was in. I'm finally getting multiple dates, seeing, a lot of women that I did like, and I was in Mexico, so I didn't really feel at the time I was ready to settle down with anybody. So, that's how that went about, so that's why I'm still single at this point. And then I decided I would go to Barcelona for just a couple months, check that out, met some great people there. Again, in Europe, you can only stay there for so long. I want to explore more of Europe. That's coming up. But then I came back to the States to go visit my brother because he came in from Alaska. And then I got fired from my job as a software developer because I was terrible at it. In Barcelona, I was focused more on going out, talking to people, hanging out with girls, and seeing all this stuff. And I really did not like doing software development. I felt like most of my time I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't any good at it. I didn't have a desire to learn it. I'd much rather learn more stuff on setting goals, become more masculine, reading books. Obviously, this doesn't sound ideal. Like I should focus on my job. It's important. But I was just never passionate about it. So I got fired from that in small town Wisconsin. So then I was there for a while again. So I'm restarting again, no relationships, losing my momentum socially. Do get hired on as another Android developer. And because that's a remote position as well, I moved back to Mexico. Did that for a while. I think I was down there for about 7 months. Focused again more on trying to find the right girl, but also it's a big distraction in Mexico. It's very easy to go on multiple dates, not really have to set like never. I just never really felt like I met the person that I wanted to just see only her. Maybe that was the answer, or maybe I was just immature and still didn't know what I wanted. So I was in Mexico for a bit. Then I came back to small town Wisconsin for a medical procedure. And while I was there, I got fired from this job because, again, I was not very good at it. I just was something that I was just could not put my attention into. I just didn't spark me creatively. It's not something I enjoyed doing. Even in college when I was doing it, I didn't like it. I just happened to take the first job I got. So then I started a cleaning business in Wisconsin with my good friend. And again, I'm back in Wisconsin. This was 2023 at this point. So starting this cleaning business, I knew this wasn't going to be a long-term solution. I wasn't going to stay in Wisconsin, but this was a way to make recurring revenue. So the cleaning business is up and running. It's still going now. So it was a good decision, but it wasn't helping me with my relationships. I knew I wasn't going to be in small town Wisconsin forever. So at this point, I'm 40 years old now, and I don't want to be there. So once the cleaning business is up and running, I moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the Somali pirates or whatever they're calling them now. There's a big, huge fraud case going on. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds pretty crazy. But yeah, so I was up there for a year. I had a year lease. Knew I was never going to want to stay in Minneapolis. I did meet some great girls there as well, but again, they were long distance. One of them, I moved back to Mexico because I didn't want to be in Minneapolis anymore, and then she moved to Copenhagen. So that wasn't going to work out. I don't want to do long distance relationships. And then by the time I was getting ready to leave Mexico again in April or November of 2024 or 2025, it's already I'm already on different things. She's doing her stuff now, so that's where that is. So 2024, I was in Mexico again from July 2025 to November 2025. And Mexico is great. I love Mexico. It's very peaceful. It's a great place to meet people and friends, and it's a healthy lifestyle. But I didn't think I was going to meet the long term relationship that I'm eventually looking for. So now I'm in Brisbane. There's a long ways to just say I'm in Brisbane. Hope you guys are keeping up if you're interested. In Brisbane now. Now I'm just doing this because I'm focusing on doing what it takes to improve myself socially so that this sticks. I've done this shit for 8 years now, going to Boston, going to Vegas, feeling good, building my social momentum, and then relaxing into it, smoking weed, taking it easy, taking my foot off the gas, forgetting what I've learned, forgetting how to be that guy in all environments. Then I go to Philadelphia, just focused on work, not happy. Then go to small town Wisconsin, lose it all again. Then to Texas, where I was starting to build it up, back to down to Mexico, where I'm building it up even more, even higher, feeling good. Back to Wisconsin, where I just lose it all again for another year and a half between lacrosse and COVID, and then Minneapolis, where I didn't like going to the bars there. I was meeting some people online. That was going well, but they weren't people that I was eventually going to live with or be with. And then the girls I was seeing ended up being long distance. So that's where that is. So now I'm in Brisbane. I'm doing what I can do. This is my training ground. This is the 10 approach a day for 60 days just to see how I improve. I'm already getting pretty good results, I'd say. I'm seeing some girls here and there. I'm feeling more social. I'm feeling like I'm actually starting to be that better version of myself, just more free, able to communicate with people. If I see a cute girl at a grocery store, I don't think, oh, she would never go for me, or I could never get her, or, all these thoughts that I had when I was going through a divorce, when I was in small town Wisconsin, I would see these girls and just be like, there's no way I could talk to her. She wouldn't like me. This would never work. So that's why I'm doing this now. I'm trying to get to that point where I just talk to people in the streets and have a great experience. So I'm in Brisbane now for the next 5 months, or maybe sooner or later. However long I want, really. But this is my training ground. And then what I want to do, because I've never done this and I am young, I want to go to Russia at some point. I want to go there and see Russian girls. I like Russian. I like to visit Moscow and St. Petersburg, see the city, see a different culture, film out there, do some cool stuff. I want to still travel all around Europe. I want to see all these different places. And ideally, I would like to do that while I'm practicing my social skills. I'm helping guys get the dating life that they want. This is why I came to Brisbane originally, as I flew out here to help two clients get their online dating profile set up, get them starting to approach, because that is my opinion, the best way to meet high quality women. I'm not going to meet these girls that I'm seeing now on dating apps. Dating apps are great, and I had a lot of great experience with it, and I still use it when I travel. But you also need to learn how to talk to people. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but for me, I want to talk to people when I see them. If I see a cute girl, I want to give myself the opportunity to meet her. The more I practice, the better opportunity, or the better interaction I can give her, because I'm being myself, I'm being authentic, I'm telling her my intentions, I'm able to tease her, give her a fun, flirty experience, and that's through practice. So that's what Brisbane is about. And then I want to do European tour where I see all these different countries, get to meet new people, go out with friends, go to Russia, go to Tokyo, and that's kind of where I am now. So I don't know what my long-term plan is, where I want to settle. I don't really want to go to the US. Maybe if it was like New York or Miami, but that's expensive and I would need to work my way up to that. But just the US, maybe I just haven't found the right city for me. If you guys are in a city that you really like, I would love to hear that. Does it have the things that you like to do? Does it have the type of women that you want to date? That's kind of what I'm looking for now. I love Mexico. I would love to go down to Mexico with a girl that maybe I meet. I don't know if I want to have kids in Mexico though. US, like I said, I don't have a ton of desire to go to the US right now. Maybe if I meet somebody, I take her there. But that's kind of the downside of my lifestyle right now. I don't know. Because I'm a US citizen, I can't just live wherever I want. Like, there's rules. I can't just live in Barcelona for 10 years. I got to reset my visa. Same here. I got to reset my visa and travel. So right now, I'm just building up my skill set so that I become the guy that just talk to people anywhere on the street, feels comfortable doing it, doesn't worry about rejection, doesn't worry about what other people think, gets a good dating life out of it. We'll meet eventually the girl that is going to have my kids. That's the ideal plan. I do want kids at some point, but I don't want kids with the wrong person either. I also want fun, crazy experiences. I want cool stories that I can tell people that I can write down and read in a book. And one of the guys I really resonated with was Tom Torero. He would go and travel and day game and meet all these people. And because I'm single and I don't have a girlfriend right now, like that seems like a good scenario. We'll try that. But I also want to just see the world and travel and go from there. It is going to be difficult to really figure out my long-term solution. I don't know where I want to live. That I think that's part of the journey is figuring out exactly where I want to go. All the cities I lived in the US, Vegas, I loved, but I would never want to go back. I've had that time. It's done. Austin was great. Had my time there. It's done. Definitely would not live in the Midwest again. East Coast, maybe New York, maybe Miami. But we'll see about that. So that's kind of my journey now. We'll see what happens. I'm still going to do the 10 approach today, 10 approach challenge. Today went decent. I was feeling much better, in a better mood. The lack of caffeine was getting to me. I'm debating on if I go back to caffeine because it does cost me like $12 a day and it's probably not the best for you, but it does prevent me from crashing. I do feel more productive. I don't know. Do you guys use coffee, caffeine? I know like Alex Hormozy and Joe Rogan, they all say caffeine and nicotine. I'm definitely not getting on nicotine. I don't want to do that, but we'll see about that. Yeah, 10 approach challenge though. Some decent interactions, no phone numbers today. Mostly, I wouldn't say mostly blowouts, but nothing great to speak of. But I did feel more energetic. I did feel a little bit more talkative. I felt more positive. So that's the goal. That's what we're working towards. It's only been 29 days. This stuff does take work if you want to get the dating life that you want. I don't want to just settle with the wrong girl again. I did that for 12 years. She was a great person. We had a lot of fun together, but deep down, I think we both know she had red flags. I had a bunch of red flags. It just wasn't the best fit. And I think we both knew that probably pretty early on, but we just made it work out of scarcity. And I don't want to do that again. So that's why it's important to go out and talk to many people. That's my mission. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to help you guys do. I think my goal for the next year or two is to travel to places to help guys with their dating life, be their wingman, get them into taking action wherever they live. It is difficult. One of the things I found difficult was I would go to these boot camps and I would learn, you do a weekend in Barcelona and you'd get your skill set going, or you do a weekend in um, Miami and you get your stuff going. And then you go back to your hometown. You're like, well, now what the fuck do I do? I don't know. I don't know what to do. So being here with my clients, I'm able to go out with them and just push them and keep showing them what is possible on a daily basis. You see a girl at the grocery store, you can go talk to her. Like that is the guy that you become. So I'd love to do that, help guys get their dating profile set up. I know it's very scary in your 30s, 40s, 50s that maybe you are too old. Maybe these girls aren't interested in you. Maybe you will never find that girl or it's just too difficult. All these little weasels in your head. I have them, had them a lot. I'm working on it now. And I don't feel like I'm too old. I'm 42 now and I've been going on dates with 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. I'm not really looking to date girls in their late 30s right now. So it's been great. And if you get your online dating profile set up, it's kind of like a cheat code once you know how to message and you're getting the likes. Once you get the like, you already know she likes you. Now it's just about getting her onto dates. I know a lot of guys struggle with that. So let me know if I can help you with that. I will stop rambling in this video. It is getting much longer than I wanted. I didn't even want to film this. I was going to take the day off, do some studying, just focus and relax. But I will do it. I did. I said I would. So there you go. Hope you guys are doing great. Let me know what you want to see from me. Follow along the journey. We'll see where it takes me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So there you go. We'll see you later. Peace.